In some ways, Rosh Hashanah on the Adventure Rabbi retreat is drastically different than something you'll experience at synagogue. So, for example, the first hour and a half of prayers that you would do in an indoor synagogue service, we have jettisoned and replaced them with walking through places like this and talking about and noticing how nature can be a role model for us in this season of change and turning. But in other ways, it's very much the same. And one of the ways in which it's the same is the shofar. It's the blowing of the shofar. So some things are the same and some things are different. And so another tradition during the month of Elul is that every single morning we blow the shofar. We hear the sound of the shofar. So why do you think we do that? What's the shofar all about?
The sound of awakening or from a slumber or something like that.
So what's the slumber?
Just the normal day-to-day spiritual dullness or like not awareness or something like that, where you're just going about your life unconsciously.
So a thing we call being awake. Yeah, exactly. Ironically. Yeah.
Communicating with the neighbors.
Communicating with the neighbors. Yeah. Okay. Telling them that we're doing this and what are you doing today?
Right. Well, the other little tribes, the tribelets that are down the road.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
Okay.
We actually, because we blow the shofar in the month of Elul, and it's fun. The kids come out, from the different houses, and see what we're doing. So those are all the things that our tradition teaches and our liturgy teaches. Definitely. What is the sound? Here's the sound. Tell me what the sound is to you. And I'm not a great shofar blower. We have one on Rosh Hashanah, but it's not me. So this is a sound that you have heard for years. What does it awaken in you? What does it do for you? The sound. What does it remind you of? What does it make you feel? What does it connect you with? Anything?
It reminds
a new beginning.
Shul, new beginning. I mean, for me, it's my favorite part. Like, when I was a kid, that's all I wanted to hear. And traditionally on Shabbat, you don't blow the shofar because you're not supposed to carry it to and from. But in the Reformed tradition, we drive anyway, so we carry them and we blow them on Shabbat. But, like, when you couldn't, yes, you could technically just leave it there. But the fear is that somebody else will see that you are blowing it and they will think you carried it and they will think it's okay for them to carry theirs.
Let's just put a note on it.
Yeah. But that's exactly the issue.
Here, so don't get any ideas.
Just for a bit of Boulder history, the reason that we have Bonei Shalom and Har Hashem is they split over the issue of blowing shofar on Shabbat, and that's how we ended up with those two congregations.
There's nothing else to worry about.
Anyway, so for me, like, the shofar is this real emotional, thing. Anyone else have that?
It just, whenever I hear a sound or a sound that sounds like that, it always makes me think of the holidays and of the kind of coming together that happens. A lot of people who are affiliated with synagogue only go twice a year,
right?
And it's that time when everybody, even people who are not at all interested during the year in anything else Jewish other than bagels and lox, come to temple, and you have this whole bigger community, and it just kind of, it's like a family, a big giant family thing. And to me,
Adrian, were you saying something? Or you?
I was going to say that I feel like it's very disturbing.
Okay.
It's confronting.
Yeah.
It's fun and playful. So I think you said awakening, but I would say for me it's more of a spiritual awakening because it resonates on a different level and kind of cuts through all that other stuff that's going on that we can see or hear.
I feel like that too. I feel like it's like a spiritual siren or like an air raid or something that just totally calls your attention and it's like, here it is.
Beautiful. Let's go here and then
that was what I was going to say. To me, it's a call. Okay. And it's not a response.
Right.
And it's a sound that commands attention and requests some response.
Beautiful. Thank you, Rachel.
It's a link to the past. It's the same instrument that's been calling Jews to worship for hundreds and hundreds of years, and it hasn't really changed. It's not like a guitar or a trumpet or a sort of a new age thing. It's always been there.
Thank you.
Ditto. For me, it just reverberates really deep inside, like any other sound-making thing would, partly because it is so old.
I want to just read to you what the Talmud says about why we do this. It says, Rabbi Abahu said, "Why do we use the horn of a ram on Rosh Hashanah? Because the Holy One is saying to us, if you blow a horn from a ram before me on Rosh Hashanah, I will be reminded of the act of ultimate faith performed by Abraham when he was ready to carry out my demand, even though a ram was eventually sacrificed in place of Isaac. The merit of Abraham will reflect on you, his descendants. In fact, when you blow the shofar, and I remember the binding of Yitzhak, of Isaac, I will attribute to you the merit of having bound yourselves to me." Okay? So, Rachel, did you mention the word, you said something about binding. The bind back to, someone said the word bind, which made me think of that. So one of the amazing things I think about this sound is that it binds us back to Judaism, and each differently. And for some people that's a good thing, for some people that's a bad thing. But nonetheless, there seems to be something about this instrument, as well as the holiday in general, which binds us to our Judaism. Any thoughts about that? Anyone want to build on that a little bit? Anything more about that?
Well, it's kind of symbolic. The shofar is sort of a symbol of Judaism, which could legitimately be used in place of Star of David. I think if whoever decided that had chosen differently, it would also make sense.
Click art.
Yeah.
Whoever was there.
Or if we ever rebrand or something, we could use that. No, but
what is it about Rosh Hashanah? I mean, like, people that we don't see all year. Someone mentioned that it's the only, I think maybe it was Lisa, that people don't come all year and they come back for Rosh Hashanah or they come back for Yom Kippur. The equivalent in life cycle events is bar mitzvah. People that have never done anything Jewish come to me with a 12-year-old and say he needs a bar mitzvah. He doesn't know what Shabbat is, but he needs a bar mitzvah. Which is fine, and I make that work. I absolutely make that work. What is it? Why does Rosh Hashanah